Hello, my magical friends. We are back with another review today, another beverage review. I sit here at my desk and I drink a lot of beverages. So this one is something that I first received an ad for around the new year. One of those, it's a new year, new you, start eating healthy ad. You've seen them. So you've all seen them. And this one was for Kencko smoothies. I was intrigued because, so their promise is that they are freeze-dried powdered smoothies, and you just put the smoothie powder and liquid in this shaker, shake it up, you got a smoothie, no mess, it's easy. You don't have a drawer full of veggies going bad in your fridge while you tell yourself you're going to make smoothies that you have to pull out the blender for. It's a whole thing. I actually received these several months ago, and I wanted to give it enough time to review before I did this video, but spoiler, I have liked it enough that I have reordered, and I have another box here that we'll do a quicker unboxing and talk a little bit more later. But now let's go back in time to the original unboxing, and you can see my experience opening the box and my experience tasting and mixing up one of the smoothies for the first time. And so I will see you back later. Mail time. Let's see what is inside. The handy box opener. And before we open it, on the box here, it does have a little thing about sustainable shipping. It says carbon neutral shipping. We are invested in certified climate protection and carbon management projects to offset the emissions caused by delivering this box to your door. And then there's a URL where you can get more info. So, the shipping policy. Okay, and inside the box, we have another box, and we have a bottle. So there's some words on the box. I think that's just decorative. Open the bottle first. Okay. This it's plastic, but it has a nice feel to it. It's soft, but doesn't feel really rubberized. There is a soft kind of texture to this bottle. So yeah, it just says Kencko on it. There is a max liquid line on this line. Part screws off. There's a holder for the cap. Always good for those of us who lose things. And it looks like there's a little, I don't know if you can see here, there's a little black ring inside, and there's this little tab, and yeah, it does just pull out. It's pretty easy to clean that. And then there's a little space to put it back in, so I think the hard part of it is going to be not losing that little bit when I clean it. Okay, and then opening it up, there is a little black thing in here, and there is a paper. One side has instructions on making the smoothie, and we will look at that when we are making the smoothie. Caring for your bottle. To remove the filter for washing, flick the fin with your thumb. Rinse bottle soon after use. Dishwasher safe. Always dishwasher safe is awesome. So yeah, so the fin, you can see here, there's that little thing in the middle. There's that, you can see that, yeah. So that's the fin, and yeah, you just yep, okay. So it just opens, and there are two rubber rings. One's clear, one's black to hold that in. And then I guess you just kind of push it in to reseal it. Yeah, it seems to go right together. Your bottle should avoid hot or carbonated liquids, freezers and microwaves, sharing a dishwasher with sauces that may stain, e.g. curry, tomato, beetroot. So it can go in the dishwasher, but if you have something really messy that's also in the dishwasher, it could stain the plastic. So keep that in mind. After we unbox everything, we will wash this and then test out one of these smoothies. So there is a secondary box inside the larger box. I'm wondering if next month, if this is going to be a smaller box and this was just a larger box because it had to hold the bottle. Okay, what do we have in here? Hi, Rebecca. And we've got some paperwork. Let's see, what is this paperwork? Let's shake things up. Oh, okay, it's a smoothie picker. It's just a list of all the different smoothies. They're listed under berries or greens or chocolate or tropical to try to find what smoothie you might like, because they do have a lot of options. The 5-a-day challenge. They want you to check off if you've had 5 fruits or veggies a day. I don't think I'll use this. If I wanted to track something like this, I'd pull it in a bullet journal, but I don't really feel like I need to track that. Okay, so this is a promo code, and I will be, this is for $20 off for you. This is, like I said, this is not a sponsored post. Everyone who orders these gets a referral code, so I'll put this in the description. And nutritional facts, which brings us to the smoothies themselves. You can see they're very colorful, and they are all in these little plastic baggies. Let's see what we have. Okay, so the green things, okay, these are just called greens. They're green things, and they're called greens. So I have 2 greens. Color, these are ambers, and these are very clumped together. You can see how, I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Very, very clumped. These are hard clumps in here. So that's going to take a lot of smushing to get that not to be so clumped up. These are called golds. They're kind of brownish, but 2 of those. Peaches. This is also a little clumped, but they're softer. Let's see, another peaches. So 2 peaches, 2 crimsons, 2 purples, 2 corals, 2 rubies, bottom of the box here, 1 mochas, 1 ultra green, 1 matcha green, which is again very, very clumped up in here. This is just hard lumps of matcha something in there. And 1 blushes. So I'll have to check this over with, there's no packing slip in here of what I ordered versus what came, so I'll have to check this over with what I did order. But yeah, lots of stuff, duplicates of most things, and let's try one out and see what this stuff tastes like. Okay, so I have consulted the Let's Shake It Up guide, and I have decided that I'm going to start with purples. I think this is a common one. It's one of the, seems to be in reviews, seems to be everyone's favorites. It's mixed berries. Seems the safest bet. Everyone likes berries, or I like berries, most people like berries. It does have a max liquid line here, which is fairly close to the top of the container. I think obviously for 1 smoothie packet, that's fine. If you're going to add other things like protein powders or fiber or something else, you probably want to go down a little bit on the liquid so that things will fit. Read the instructions. Massage packet to break up any clumps. As I said, lots of them were pretty clumped in the package. The purples is actually pretty loose, but a lot of the other ones were clumped. Add liquid first, chilled water or plant milk. Add contents of 1 packet and close bottle tightly, shake until smooth, then leave to rehydrate 30 to 60 seconds. Enjoy after mixing or refrigerate and use within 24 hours. It's very important that you put the liquid in first. I've read other reviews of people saying this is terrible, it all stuck to the bottom, I could barely taste anything. That's because they put the powder in first. The powder will absolutely, according to everything I've read, will absolutely stick to the bottom of this container if you put the powder in first. So, liquid first. This oat milk that I have, this Trader Joe's oat milk, I love it, but it's very thick. So I have some water here as well. I'm going to put mostly oat milk in and then thin it down a little bit with water. You can see the max fill line. I've put that much oat milk in, and then I'm going to put the rest of water. Just because I think that it's going to be a little too thick if I just use the oat milk. There are a few clumps in here, so squish, squish, squish. This ASMR. Probably too aggressive. So, how do you open this? Okay, there's a little tear. Pull it up. At the fill line with the powder, it's coming up pretty far. So if you want to put anything else in here, They sell protein powder packs. You can just put your own protein powder in. Okay, shaking. Okay, you can see, I said this thing stick to the bottom. You can see it is sticking to the sides of the container a little bit where it touched, so it will definitely stick to the bottom of the container. Trying to get that out the sides and it will not budge. Definitely, it'll stick to the container. Try not to let it touch the sides. So this seems, like I said, there's still a little stuff to the edge, but this seems pretty well blended. We will let this sit for 30 to 60 seconds, then we will test it. It's been sitting, give it a couple shakes just to be good and mixed. The cap kind of dangles all over the place, and there's berry stuff in there, so that's, you don't want berry stuff all over yourself. Make sure you have a firm grip on this cap. It's pleasant. There's not like a big kick of flavor, but there's a light flavor. I don't know if it would be different I wonder if it would be different with just water. Because you can definitely taste the oat milk, and it has nothing to do with Kencko. This is the purples, so it's berry seed. There's, the berries in it. There's definitely berry seeds in it, which is expected. It doesn't have, I'm just thinking about like buying a store-bought smoothie, and it doesn't have that sort of acidity that store-bought smoothies will have. I feel like a lot of them that have the fresh fruit, there's an acidity, almost like they put like lemon juice or something in it. This doesn't have that. This doesn't feel, this feels like low acid, but who knows? I'm not testing it. I suppose I could test it. Just got a clump that was not fully mixed. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it was a clump that was not fully mixed. So maybe I need to learn how to shake it better. This is good. I will definitely, as, a midday snack, this is, I like it. And I will try the other flavors and let you know how they all went. It's been a few months, and I have thoughts. There are good things and there are bad things. First off, I'll say the negative. This shaker is garbage. It's terrible. So here's the problem. Right here. You can see those grates? If the chunks of smoothie powder are bigger than those holes, those right there, you'll get that chunk of smoothie powder. And you can see, you saw in the video, I thought I had shook it up and I thought it was good to go, and I still got a big chunk of it in my mouth. Some of the smoothie powders are powder, and some of them are very hard chunks of congealed powder. So one of the things about Kencko, so they're very proud of the fact, and this is a good thing, that their only ingredients are vegetables and fruit. They're freeze-dried and ground to a powder and put in the smoothie mix. There's nothing else. But one of the things that they actually list on their website is that it's a good thing they don't have is anti-caking agents. And this means that the product cakes. There's just no way around that. So that's a problem. Personally, I use an immersion blender. You have to get out the full blender to mix everything together, but I definitely do use an immersion blender. I use this shaker when I am going somewhere. Like I had a volunteer shift last weekend and I knew that it was going to be over lunch, so I mixed up a smoothie with some extra protein powder. I took it in the shaker with me. That way I could, it sat in my bag for a bit, and then I could shake it before I drank it, and that works well. But for actually making the smoothie, an immersion blender was required, or one of those little ninja blenders. You're gonna want that. Also, just mixing them with water, you can see, even in my original video, I used oat milk. Just mixing it with water is very thin and is a unpleasant to me texture. Maybe it's different for you. Everyone has their own preferences, but it was unpleasant to me. Mixing it with water with protein powder is okay. I use a vanilla protein powder. It does change the flavor, obviously, but it does work out pretty well for me. But I usually, even if I'm putting water in to for the most part, I still like to put a little bit of oat milk in there. Just for some extra body. I think that's really necessary. Especially the chocolatey ones, like the gold or the mocha. Just water is just... It's weird. It's weird. They're good with oat milk. With water, I do not recommend. So let's open up the newest box that came in, and we can talk a little bit more about their packaging. Here it is. So it's a bigger box this month, because I decided that it is cheaper to get more smoothies at a time, less frequently. So I get larger boxes every couple of months. Their ordering process is easy. I'll show you, I'll do some screenshots for you. The ordering process is very easy. And, you can always skip or delay an order. That's not a problem at all. So we have the big box, and then we have the little box underneath. Nutritional information. All of their shipping is recyclable. That's a big thing. They carbon offset all of their shipping. They don't use any single-use plastics. They do carbon offsets for the emissions of their shipping vehicles. They use local shipment when possible. So they do try as best as they can. And again, you see that they always say your name, and there's a big box of smoothies. Now, these packages, this is one of the chocolatey ones, this is the golds. These are not plastic. These are, they're bioplastic. They are completely compostable. They take longer in a home composter, so we'll see how well they actually compost. I haven't checked that, but they are compostable. They're not throwaway plastics. There are some new flavors. They always come out with new flavors. Right out of the package, this is a blushes. Look at how crunchy that is. You can't just pour that into water and expect it to mix, even if you mash it up. And if these sit, like I said, I only buy these every couple of months, so they sit in my cabinet for a while, and some of these just become hard as rocks. And you need the blender. So that is my overall take on Kencko. So what did Kencko promise and what did they deliver? Well, they promised that they would be an easy way to do smoothies that would be less mess and less waste. And did they deliver? Yes. I think that they are definitely easier to make than to make a whole smoothie out of fresh fruit. But there are some drawbacks. As I said when I did my original unboxing, they do lack that fresh tartness of fresh fruit because they are freeze-dried. On the other hand, there's much less food waste because they're freeze-dried. So that's a trade-off. And putting a little lemon juice in does help with that fresh tart taste for the fruit ones, if that's what you're looking for. The shaker, don't use it, use a blender. But other than that, and also, there's not a lot of calories in these. So you can see these are just, the two smoothies at the top. There's 70 calories in one of those little packages. If you mix them up with water, basically nothing. If you mix them up with oat milk, there's like another 100, 150, depending on what type of milk you use. So maybe you're getting 200 calories. They're a very light meal replacement. They do not... I often feel more hungry after I eat one or drink one than I did before I had the smoothie. So as a meal replacement, even putting in protein powder... I'm not sure how well they work for that. For me personally, I always need to have toast with them. Like I need something solid to eat with them. But other than that, I have, I just bought another big box. I think that I'm definitely a fan. I have continued to buy them, but I don't think that they completely meet all of their promises. So if you're thinking about getting them, I would definitely keep that in mind, that they do need a little bit more prep than just dump this in water, shake it, and go. Other than that, they have a lot of flavors, and if you, like me, are tired of letting food go slimy in your fridge because you don't want to take out your blender to make your smoothies, this is a really great option, and I do like them. That's it for this video. I'll have more reviews coming up soon. I have a review about redesigning this office that I'm in. I will explain these curtains and tell you where I got them and where everything else goes. And yeah, I'm back with more videos. So like, subscribe, and I will see you around.